What's the difference between a traditional IRA and a Roth IRA? And when should you invest in which kind? Find out next. Hey there, I am Alison Eddings. I am a CPA in private practice, in private tax practice, I should say. And I am out here this month at lovely Lake Jocassee. It's a favorite place of ours. You can see my OCD, obsessive camping disorder. My daughter got that from me last time we were here. We do love to camp in our old 1988 camper that we got for a deal right like a week before COVID hit. We were blessed by that. But I am here to talk to you today about the difference between a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA. It's very confusing to taxpayers sometimes, and I just want to spend a minute explaining what the differences are and when you should use each one. So a Roth, you put after-tax dollars in, and it grows tax-free because you've already been taxed on the dollars that have been put in there. So as it grows, those earnings you can pull out tax-free. As you can imagine, that is a good option when you're younger. Setting aside Roth dollars that are going to grow and you're not going to pull out for 40 or 50 years possibly, that is a windfall in tax savings. It's not exciting right now. I told a client last year before last, a favorite client of mine, and he wanted an exciting tax deduction. I'm like, but when I am dead and gone and you are retired and not paying money on your retirement, paying taxes on your retirement, you are going to thank me. And the same holds true for you too. If you are young and grandparents, if you want a gift to your grandchildren in Roth dollars, that is a fantastic gift. Traditional IRA is the other way around. You put in tax-free money, and as it grows and you pull it out, you're taxed on it. So this is more of an option when you are in a much higher tax bracket than you think you will be in retirement, because And granted, you have to consider the growth of your dollars too. Like when we were talking about the Roth dollars, you put in $1,000 when you're 20, what's that going to be worth? Now, even if you'd been taxed on that $1,000, well, I won't even go down that road. But the time value of money is something to take into effect here. So I'm speaking in generalities. When you're young, when your tax brackets are lower, that's when you want to contribute to a Roth. When you're in middle age and you're earning more, that tends to be the time when you want to put into traditional IRA or 401k, because that's going to grow. You'll pull it out. Typically, when you're retired, you're in a lower tax bracket anyway. Now, I do have some taxpayers that are not in lower tax brackets in their retirement because they have Social Security, they have defined contribution, they have defined benefit that they're receiving, so they're doing pretty well. Typically, teachers or other government employees that have multiple streams of retirement income. But they didn't see that coming. They didn't know that they were going to be switched from a deferred comp to a deferred pension and how that's going to work for them. But typically, the older you are and the higher tax bracket you're in, the less likely to put in a Roth. You want to put that in traditional or 401k. But the younger you are or the lower your tax bracket, you want to use Roth. But there also are times when if you have you have to pull out minimum distributions, required RMDs. I'm sorry, I had a brain lapse there. Required minimum distributions. It was a really cute puppy, just distracted me. Required minimum distributions that you have to take out. If you're still earning while you have to take those RMDs out, or if it's an inherited IRA, sometimes it's a wise thing to put it in a Roth. But these are all things that are great for you to talk with your tax professional about, your investment professional about. If you have questions, I just want you to feel comfortable using the terminologies and understanding the differences between the two. So if this content was useful, helpful, or informative for you, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. It does push this content out to more people so they too can be educated and can advocate for themselves. I hope you have a great week. See you next week.